Do you compose?
She helps.
What's up, YouTube?
Actually, that's how I got the idea to do this YouTube thing.
You don't need it.
Well,
Delay it.
If you do get it, you go. If you don't like it, you leave. Cheers. Cheers. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome
Been
back.
a while.
Welcome back to New York.
Yeah, the last time I saw you was at the Clippers game with
Where
your
was
brothers.
that? Wait, it was
In LA.
In LA.
Yeah.
Oh crap! Oh yeah, my brothers were there too.
Yeah.
That's freaking crazy. You know, I haven't seen I haven't seen a basketball game yet in like the last couple of years.
Oh really?
That might have been the last game I saw actually.
That was like 4 years ago or something. 4 or 5? Yeah, that was
It
a
might
while
have been
ago.
it might have been the last game I've seen actually.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't really go to games out here.
They're so expensive. They're
Yeah,
really
yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
Yeah, I went to see the Nets in January. I paid like $8 for a water. I was so pissed.
God, with Kevin Durant, was Kevin
He
Durant
wasn't
playing, or
even
was he still
playing
injured?
that night. He was
Oh,
injured.
God.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
cool
All
stadium.
right. Well, I haven't seen you in at least 3 years, right?
Yes.
At least 3 years.
4. Yeah,
4 years.
Something like
okay.
that. Yeah.
I was trying to see you in Houston
Yeah, and
like
then
2 months ago, and then
yeah.
I had to cancel it last second.
And then like 2 years ago, you were also trying to come.
Yeah, and then 2 years before that, I was trying to come to Houston. I've been
Right.
keep trying to go to Houston, and then never freaking
It
happens.
just doesn't happen.
Yeah. So how did we meet? We met at Juilliard.
Yes.
Yeah. At Juilliard, and you were studying with who?
Beaser.
Beaser. Okay.
Right.
So you were with Beaser. I was with Corigliano.
Yes.
Were you with Beaser both years?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, you went to
UCLA for
UCLA.
a second.
Okay.
Yeah. I was there for like a year and a half.
Uh-huh.
And then I left. Yeah.
And then when was the next thing you did after that?
So I basically took a year off, and traveled a ton. I went to Berlin for 3 months. That was super fun. Finally got to go to Oktoberfest.
Okay.
And then I was home for a little bit in Korea, went to Japan, Russia, just kind of like traveled around a lot. And yeah, that was great.
And then you ended up, but you're at a program right now, right?
Right. So I was and then like I went to Rice.
And then
So-
Rice.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I've been there for 3 years now.
God, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, so it's like composers were all like always in school. That's
I
like
know.
the perpetual thing.
I know. So I just finished my coursework this semester,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not really planning to like finish my doctorate anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I'm like heading into my 6th year.
Oh,
Columbia.
already? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because that makes sense.
Yeah. 6th year at Columbia, and then I don't know what's happening after that. Might try to stay on.
Go to
teach
more
a
school.
class here. But keep teaching there. I mean, that would be great. you
Right.
know, But
what are you
that's-
teaching there now?
It's a class called Music Humanities.
Okay.
Yeah. So at Columbia, they have this thing called the core program. So they do like art, literature. They have like Asian humanities. They have all these different kinds of humanities. So one of them is music humanities, but that one is more centered towards like Western art music.
Cool.
So starting from like Hildegard and stuff like that.
So it's kind
Gregorian
of like a
chant.
history class-ish?
They don't want it to be like a history class, but it kind of ends up being that way. I mean, we're supposed to like have discussion in class, which we do. So I would say maybe like half the time I'm talking and the other half they're talking.
Oh, that's fun.
We're listening to music.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really nice class. So I'm teaching it right now over the summer too. It's my 8th time teaching the class.
Oh, so you know what to do.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
that's
it's
great.
fun because it's different every time.
Right.
Yeah, but you were teaching also at Rice, right?
Yeah, I've been teaching a bunch of different things. So the first 2 semesters I started teaching at Rice, it was during the pandemic, and I taught theory for non-majors, and it was like completely over Zoom. So I had to like learn how to really like do that. And then the second year I started teaching there, I taught oral skills with masks on. And that was like the most frustrating thing ever because we're sight read and like sight singing and like, you know, doing the rhythm and stuff, but I can't really sing like like see who's singing and who's not, and
Oh my God.
can't hear it, you know, like it was super frustrating, but that was also a good like learning experience for me, you know, learning how to be more patient.
Yeah.
And then the past semester I was teaching comp for non-majors, and that was super fun. Yeah, because like all these people had like super different backgrounds, and they were really into like writing music, creating music, but like I had to sort of like help them out with like different sort of like things, and it was really fun.
So when you're teaching composition for non-majors, like who exactly is in the class?
Like undergrad students,
so
at
undergraduates.
Rice. So like really smart kids, you know,
Okay.
like learning, I don't know, rocket
But
science.
what kind of music do they want to write though?
So they all came with different ideas. So for example, one student that I had, he was like a really skilled bagpipe player. And so he wanted to learn more about like other types of winds and like how to write for strings and stuff like that. So we ended up writing a bunch of small pieces. We wrote piano solo piece, like duets with violin and cello, like flute pieces, like a bunch of stuff. And one person was interested in doing electronic music, which I'm not like the best at.
Yeah.
But you know, like with Logic, I was able to help him a little bit. Like we did all sorts of things.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I always wonder like, what do they think like our world is like from the outside?
Right.
Because like in this music hum class that I teach, it's like my window into like the outside world. Because like I'm always surrounded by musicians.
Like people like us.
Yeah, it's just like I wonder what they think about what we do.
Right.
But I find that like once you, it's not teaching them. It's more that you're offering them like little nuggets of what's out there, and then they kind of put it together for themselves.
Right.
Because like I can't expect them to like everything. Like we don't even like everything that we see, so how can we expect them? But like to at least understand like, okay, this comes from this kind of tradition, this comes from that, and they can actually at least identify what they're listening to. So I think that it's interesting with the composition for non-majors, because they also have to identify like what they like, so they can create their own music. So it's pretty insane.
And also like in my class, I always had them like share a song or like a piece that they like to listen to. So like I discovered a ton of stuff that I didn't know before. Like, so I invited like the bagpipe player student to like come in and like just talk about bagpipe for an hour, and it was like the loudest thing ever. But it was like super cool, you know? And like got to hear a lot of like electronic music, pop music that I wasn't aware of. So it was like super fun. I learned a lot from teaching it.
Did you get to teach at all while we were at Juilliard?
No, I didn't do that.
Neither did I. Yeah, neither did I.
I mean, I was busy solfeging.
Yeah.
For real,
I mean, I just didn't want to teach in that environment because I didn't want to teach for a couple of reasons. Number one, probably the number one reason is they didn't pay at all. It's like $5,000 for the year or something for, and then I just thought it was really difficult.
It was hard.
It was too hard to teach. You had to be like a savant with that theory stuff and the oral skills to teach it. So it was hard.
The year training stuff, I mean, even as students, we were like...
Well, you were good at it though. Don't you have perfect pitch, right?
I do.
Yeah, that helped. Come on, that helps.
It did help, and I was okay at solfeging too, but like the rhythm stuff, oh my god, those were my sick days.
Was I ever in your... I don't remember if you were ever...
We were in year training 4 together.
With O'Quinn?
Yeah. We were all in there together. Year training 4. That was...
It's all a blur to me, honestly. I was so nervous every time, especially if I had to sing. I was so bad.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I couldn't do any of the rhythm stuff. So I missed a ton, and...
I think rhythm was like the only thing I was reasonably good at.
See, it's either like one way or the other,
Yeah, I don't know why, because in my music, I'm not like into I don't like think about rhythm. That's not the first thing I think about with music, but for some reason I could sight read hard rhythms.
Oh my god, no.
But I'm like all about pitch in my music. But like when I try to sing the pitches back, I can't sing them back.
It's like you can hear it. It's like, oh, that's not it.
I'm like, what am I? What am I doing? Can I even compose? I mean, what if I can't even sing? Like that's the thing about Juilliard. Like they made you question like whether you're good enough to do anything. Yeah, which was not like the experience I had at USC or even at Columbia.
Dude, I know.
Yeah.
Even at Manus, like it's like about the same sort of like conservatory training, but it wasn't like that. It was hard.
Yeah. So what brings you? So you're in Houston most of the time. So what brings you? So now you're in New York.
Yes.
We're in my apartment in Manhattan.
That's right.
Why are we here?
Just hanging. No, so I have a performance with the Orchestra of St. Luke's next Wednesday, the 15th at 7 o'clock. So the piece was commissioned actually in 2019. So this was supposed to happen like 2 years ago. But then as of everything, like
Yeah,
everything was
of
like
course.
postponed and whatnot. But so I'm here for the
So
rehearsal.
where is the performance?
At MSM in the
Okay.
big orchestra hall. Yeah.
Oh, and it was at MSM.
Yeah.
And how many? So it's the Orchestra of St. Luke's. How many players are in the orchestra?
So it's the full string section
Okay.
with winds and two,
Okay.
2 horns, 2 trumpets,
Okay.
timpani, and 2 percussion.
So it's kind of like a
chamber
cross
orchestra?
between Mozart and Beethoven symphony.
Kind of, yeah,
A little
yeah.
bit. It's not quite as small as Mozart, not quite as big as a Beethoven.
Right, like it's like a
Okay.
little bigger than Sinfonietta, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So this was finished in 2019, you said?
2020.
2020?
Yeah, I think so.
And then now it's being premiered. Yeah, I mean, it's better than it being premiered on Zoom or something.
Actually, so the premiere happened this January by
Oh.
Orchestra of St. Louis. St. Louis Symphony did that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because I already heard the piece and I
Okay.
made a bunch of revisions after that performance.
Okay.
So the performance that they're doing, the version has a completely different ending. And
Oh, it's that much revised, not just like notation,
No, no,
engraving
no.
stuff.
I cut a bunch of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also
Okay.
because like hearing it with St. Louis, it was really different from like what I had imagined for St. Luke's. St. Luke's was gonna have a smaller string
Okay.
section, but St. Louis had like a full sort of like orchestra, like symphonic sound. So like some of the balance things didn't work out as I imagined, and
Yeah.
like some of the sections just felt like too long. So I cut a bunch of stuff.
So how long is the piece now?
I think it's about 9, a little
Okay,
less
it's not
than
that
9,
long.
something
9
like that.
minutes.
And then it was like about 10, I want to say. Yeah.
Okay. And what's the title of the piece?
Moon Bunny.
Moon Bunny, a very Nicky title.
I know. I know.
My titles are like so serious, and then we have your titles. It's like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Moon Bunny. It's just a bunch of bunnies, yeah.
So how did you end up with that title? I mean, did you come up with the title first? You came up with it last? Like, how is it for you?
So with my composition process, I always come up with the title first.
Yeah.
Like I don't know about you, but like just
I'm the
facing
same way.
that
I
like
do the title. I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. The title is done. That's
and
how I
like you
am.
can just like make the file and it's like, oh, we're great. And also like just like facing all these like empty staves and I have no idea what it's gonna be. I can't do that.
Yeah.
It like stresses me out too much. So
Yeah.
I come up with the title first. But this piece is dedicated to my sister, and the premise of this commission was to be inspired by Bach's musical offerings.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And everybody had to be influenced by this, or just
Right.
you just chose that?
no, I
Okay,
didn't.
okay.
choose
I was
that.
gonna have no. I don't know. That's something. That sounds like something I would do. I have a couple of pieces that, like I wanted to use a Bach thing, but yeah,
Right.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
so it's a part of their Bach festival,
Okay.
like Orchestra of St. Luke's. So it was supposed to be inspired by the piece. And
Okay.
of course, like, I mean, I heard the piece, studied the piece, but like
Yeah.
the more I learned about it, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't. I
Yeah.
felt like it was like, whatever I was going to do with the Bach's like music, I was going to like mess it up and like make it bad. So I kind of like turned it around, and my sister was going to get married that year, like during the
Yeah.
pandemic year. And so I wanted to make a musical offering to her wedding.
So you tackled it that way.
Exactly.
That's smart. You made it more philosophical.
Trying to like, yeah, I know.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a musical offering to my sister and her wedding. And so I quoted a Korean folk tune that we used to
Okay.
sing growing up, and it's sort of like a equivalent to like patty cake. Like you play like the clapping game to this song, and the song is about the moon. And there is also like a Korean folk tale that we used to believe that there are bunnies on the moon making rice cakes every night.
Yeah.
Like people just thought that. Makes sense, right? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, like how certain influences from other cultures can seep into a piece, because it's,
Right.
yeah, I mean, for me, it's the same way, and having to explain it also is like the hardest thing. Just listen to the music and that's
know.
it. But with the title like yours, you kind of have to say, hey, what is this? Not, Sinfonetta number 3 or something. You gotta.
Like moon bunny. Yeah. So I basically wrote a piece with this tune that's about the moon, and also like made a piece about moon bunnies making rice cakes. Also because we rice cakes during like the weddings and ceremonies.
Yeah.
So,
that's awesome.
I don't know, it made sense to me.
That's all. I mean, I really like when composers bring in something personal into their music, because I feel like, I don't know why it is. It's almost all the music I hear from like our, peers and even people, in generations above, like the music feels very distant from the person. But when you look at like popular music, the people that lots of people love, I mean, they connect with them as a person as well.
Right.
And they could feel that with their music. But with a lot of contemporary music, contemporary classical music, whatever you want to call it, it's just hard to make that association. So I mean, I appreciate it when composers are trying to do that.
But also, like, for me, it's hard not to make it personal, Like, I mean, I'm writing it. It's going to be personal. It's going to be about something that I'm experiencing, like, going through. Like,
and you're spending so much freaking time. It's like,
oh my God.
why not? And it becomes like a, at least for me, it becomes like a point of memory, memory point.
Absolutely.
And it's almost like the same thing as when people take pictures, on their iPhone or whatever. Our equivalent of that is like, whatever 3 to 6 month period or whatever of writing that piece. Although I have to say, I blur it out almost immediately after I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about Moon Bunny. We're talking about the impetus for the title, which I love. I mean, it's great. I'm gonna try to. Oh, I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna come to the concert.
Great.
I can't say I'm gonna try and have it filmed and then not go. I gotta go.
It's documented.
I want to go. I'll leave the details, by the way, of this concert down in the description below. Okay. We're doing that thing. We're doing that thing.
Subscribe, like.
You can subscribe and like. I'm not opposed to that.
What's up, YouTube? I've always wanted to do that.
Well, you're doing it now.
Yeah.
So after this project, what else do you have going on?
I have a bunch of different projects that I should be working on. I'm thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm working on them, not really. But I have a violin concerto coming up in March.
Okay.
It is for the Kinetic Ensemble. Do you know them?
No, I don't think so.
Where
are they?
They're based in Houston.
Oh, that's why, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
but they're a conductorless string orchestra.
Yeah.
And I am writing for Mary Grace Johnson. She's a violinist, a wonderful violinist.
So that's being premiered in March?
Yeah, and I'm working on it right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you gotta.
I'm working on it.
Shouldn't be here. I'll give you some manuscript paper. I got it somewhere here. I got my keyboard there if you need it.
Yeah, so that piece I'm super, super excited about. So I've been collaborating with the Women's Home in Houston. That is a rehab facility for women with drug and alcohol addiction. And we've interviewed 3 graduates from the program, and like they've shared their stories and journeys. And so the piece is based on their stories and what we've gathered from the interviews. And I'm also working with a choreographer, and the piece is going to be choreographed, and we're going to have
So it's like a violin concerto with like
dance,
dancers?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's great. Is the violinist also is part of the choreography?
I don't know how that's going to work out, but maybe.
What about like a costume for the violinist?
That's a good question. I don't know what Mary Grace is going to wear.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Yeah. And so like everyone who's involved in this project is a woman. So like I'm super excited for it. It's sort of like a women-centric type of project. And
wait, all the performers are women too?
Well, the violinist. And also
the soloist is.
Soloist is, but not
the entire ensemble. Okay, because I didn't know I didn't think it was an all-female ensemble. Okay.
But the dancers will be.
Okay.
Yeah, and the choreographer is.
Okay.
And I am.
And you will, yes. I figured that out.
Yeah, and I also have another commission from the Annapolis Symphony that should be premiered in 2022 and 23, that season. So I am also part of the Climate Crisis group through Gabrielle Elena Frank Music Academy. And we've been talking and chatting about like climate crisis, and like the pieces going to be about that. So
wow. And that's Wait, is that with the Annapolis Symphony or is that something else?
It's with the Annapolis
With the
Symphony.
Annapolis Symphony,
So
okay.
like it's through that program.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Wow, that's amazing. So a lot of symphony orchestral work coming up.
Yeah, what am I gonna do? It's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
super
but they're
excited.
they're pretty different. Violin
Yeah.
concerto with dance, and then symphonic work about
Yeah.
a specific theme. So I mean, they're pretty
Yeah.
different.
I'm
well,
super
the violin
excited.
concerto is a specific theme too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that really helps me actually to like narrow
Yeah.
down some of my ideas and like
Yeah.
know what I'm doing.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with you now. I'm in this period where I'm like writing a bunch of solo pieces. They're kind of like the Barrio Sequenze.
Okay.
So, which is weird because it's like I can just do whatever the heck I want, but not. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to. I'm trying to limit the techniques I want to use in each piece.
Right.
It's like very abstract, and it's kind of like almost a love letter to each of those instruments
Oh.
that I'm writing for, and I'm trying to pick instruments that I don't know much about. Like I'm writing one for oboe right now. It's almost done. I'm like I don't know anything about the oboe. So it's hard when you're just doing musical stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's purely musical stuff versus, having some extra musical. Oh, that could be difficult too, I guess, because you want to respect the source material that you're
Yes.
going, especially the interviews, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So that could be. I mean, it's all hard for. Screw it. It's all it's all difficult.
And are you writing for specific people or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to because I can't like hear any of this stuff in my head. Like I'm not very good at hearing the extended techniques in my head. Like with the oboe piece, the opening is very melodic, and very quick, but it has a lot of quarter tones in it.
Okay.
So I have to like look up if the quarter tone fingerings, like if I have a quarter tone fingering, but then the next note is like a normal note, and then I go back to the quarter tone fingering, is the fingering awkward?
Okay,
You know what I mean? Are
yeah.
they doing some weird thing with their hand to get the quarter tone, and then they got to go back to a normal fingering? So I can look in a book and see if it.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I don't really know. Like I
Right.
can't really correspond with my hands if that is doable or not. So I have to show it to a real person to go over it, and then
Yeah.
sometimes it works where I'm like elated because I figured it out on my own. But then sometimes it doesn't work, and I gotta restart. But I don't know, it's fun. Like I can't imagine doing anything else still,
Yeah.
even after all this crap that we went through for the last couple of years.
I feel the same,
don't want
yeah.
to do anything else. It's just made me want to do it more, actually.
I know that's
Yeah.
a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of psychotic. I don't know, to try to keep doing something that is kind of keeps getting more difficult. I think as time goes on.
Yeah, like what are we gonna do? I mean,
Are you? Do you think you'll apply to like professor jobs after you're done?
I've been told that that's what I'm supposed to do,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to say like no, but I
Yeah.
also don't feel
Yeah.
like a huge yes yet.
Yeah. I mean, I was the same way too, but I thought that, I have the rest of my life to say no. I don't want to do that. So I was on the job market this year. I did apply.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got 2 callbacks and 1 in-person interview.
That's
Which
good.
was not bad for the
That's
first time.
good.
Yeah, without the doctorate in hand.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're ABD?
Yeah, I'm ABD. I've been ABD for like over a year,
Okay.
but I don't have. I mean, obviously, I don't have the doctorate. But
you don't need it.
Well,
Delay
I mean,
it.
the nice thing about Rice gives you funding too, right? Don't they give you funding even if they don't give you funding?
Not after the coursework.
Oh, after the coursework, you're done
I'm done.
with funding.
Yeah.
So how do you? How did they expect you to live? And
I don't know. So I got pretty lucky because I got a year extension for teaching. So I'll be teaching a class. So
Okay.
that'll be like a little less than what I used to get for the stipend, but that's something.
Okay. Wow, I didn't realize that it goes
Yeah.
down after the coursework.
I mean, I have the insurance from school.
Yeah, well,
That's
yeah,
something.
That's something. Yeah, well, you got the commissions and royalties that come with that.
I'll figure it out, right?
Yeah. No, but that's surprising. I thought Rice would give more after the coursework.
No, it's
they have
over.
money, don't they?
They
From what I
do.
understand.
They do. They've been honestly they've been so generous
Yeah.
to me, and I have absolutely no complaints.
Yeah.
Like actually though, like even with all the travels and stuff, like they fund
Yeah,
really
yeah.
well.
That's
and,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they want the money to go more directly to that stuff. I don't know.
I don't know, but no more stipend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here in New York, it's impossible to live without the basic stipend they give us.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Yeah, like it would be pretty impossible.
Yeah, but living cost in Houston isn't as crazy as this. And I just bought my car. Literally,
really?
like last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What kind of car is it?
Okay, so it's a long story. Basically, I was looking for a car for 7 months.
Okay.
There have been so many like upset like situations, but I just bought a car that's 2009. What did I buy? Honda Accord.
That's a good car.
It's
super
solid,
reliable car.
and it was sold by a graduate, like recent graduate from Rice. So, and he just had to like get rid of it quick.
Yeah.
So
You got it for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I mean, unless it was like that, I couldn't have like afforded.
Yeah. Well, the new cars are the new Honda Accords are not cheap.
It's so expensive, especially with like COVID and then the war. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's like even if you want a used car that's like from 2016 onwards, it's some are like just as expensive as the new cars.
Yeah, it's been bad. I was trying to lease a car actually.
So how have you been getting around before that? Were you taking public transit or getting a ride from someone else? Friends?
I have friends.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I have friends, but I don't want to rely on them. No.
Yeah, friends, Uber, you know, stuff like that. And I mean, the pandemic was like a huge reason why I didn't get a car right away. I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah. So for right now, you think you'll? I mean, for now, I mean, at least the next couple of years, you're in Houston.
I'm thinking at least like 2 years. Yeah. It's a great place to save money. So I'm not ready to like leave Houston and like spend a bunch of money on rent just yet. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do, you know, if you go down the professor route or at least apply, you know, it's the high chance that you won't stay in Houston. It's more likely that you'll be somewhere else just because of the way it works.
I know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't really be up to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, my view of it, of the whole professor thing, is that while we're in this mode of academia, we might as well try. If you don't get it, whatever. If you do get it, you go. If you don't like it, you leave.
That's true.
You know? Yeah. But if you're not sure, but then you leave the doctorate program, 4 or 5 years go by, and then all of a sudden you want to do it, it's going to be really hard. That's
what I've been told. I've been told that you should probably get a job within like 2-3 years after you get your doctorate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or at least something, like at least something like on the side. It doesn't have to be like a tenure track thing.
Right.
And I mean, it sounds like you enjoy teaching. So.
You know, that's the thing. So when I'm doing it, it's fun. I love it. But just like the thought of like going to teach, like I dread it so much.
Oh, like it's like going to the gym.
Literally.
It's like you don't want to.
Just like that.
You don't want to go there, but once you're there, you're like, oh, okay, I'm here.
Oh my! I mean, with the gym, I'm not like that. Even when I'm there, I'm like, I hate this every moment of it. But like with teaching, like I dread it every single morning. But like I love it when I'm there. So I don't know. It's just like more of a mindset problem that I have right now.
Yeah. I mean, I dreaded the thought of having to teach.
Yeah.
Because like we're used to just being on our own and writing and stuff. But then after I started teaching, actually that's how I got the idea to do this YouTube thing, because I said, oh, it's just an extension of the classroom. But what if I did this for, you know, whoever wants to listen online?
Right.
So that's kind of how that started, and like felt like getting better at speaking and this and that, and it kind of translated back to the classroom. So it was like kind of symbiotic. So we have a guest. Who's out here? Who's out here? Who's out here? This is the channel's mascot. This is Ivy, the miniature dachshund. She wants to be part of what's going on here.
Do you compose?
She helps.
Oh, she does?
She helps.
That's good.
You know, she occasionally has some good ideas. They're usually better than mine, so I mean, it's always helpful to have her input.
And she doesn't even have any degrees. What's
she
that
doesn't,
about?
Not yet. Not yet. She's only 1.5 years.
Okay.
She's got time. You know, we got to put her through preschool and all that kind of stuff first.
Yeah, but you know, like I've been in Houston for the past 3 years, and like I really like the city a lot. Yeah, it's got a lot of like new music groups, and also it's like a growing city, not like New York or LA. Like they have grown.
They have grown. It's like the point of like diminishing returns almost.
Like getting into the scene is really hard here in a way,
Yeah.
And there are so many composers. Like
it's almost like if you don't like go to. Oh my God.
She's drinking beer.
She was drinking a little bit. Yeah. Jesus. It's almost like if you don't go to like one of the major music schools here, you're kind of like screwed, isn't it?
Like it's hard to meet people and like get through that door. Yeah. But like Houston, it's really not like that, and also it's like like in a way it's like a tighter community where like people really support you. And so like being at Rice, I've gotten like a lot of opportunities to like do outreach programs, for example, and like work with like public schools and like stuff like that I never really got to do in New York or LA. And I've been like enjoying that so much. Yeah. And I don't know, like especially LA, I felt like it was really, really hard to meet people. It's just like so spread out.
LA, it is difficult to meet new people, especially outside of school.
Right.
I totally agree.
Yeah. So I don't know, like I think I'm gonna stick around for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, Houston is what, like the third or fourth biggest city?
Third.
Is it third? I mean, it's not a bad idea. I almost went there for my master's degree.
Oh, Rice?
It was between Juilliard and Rice,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The package they offer for the master's is ridiculous.
It's one of the best for the master's program.
Yeah, it's only like 2.5 hours from LA and 2.5 hours from New York. It's kind of right in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Is it about that?
It's about like
is it longer?
4 hours.
Oh, is it 4 hours?
I thought so.
From New York? Well, you know better than me. I
think it took 4 hours to get here.
I had two canceled flights to Houston in 2 years.
It's about 4 hours. But that's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, anything under like 6 hours, I think is okay.
Yeah, it's fine. And like Houston has 2 big airports and you can like get to fun places super easily. Yeah. And Houston's close to lots of bigger cities. Like Dallas is super close, Austin, San Antonio. Yeah, so lots to do.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get there. It still hasn't happened. Maybe the third time's the charm. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
God. Well, that was awesome. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming over. And if you guys want to catch Moon Bunny, come see it. It's down in the link in the description below, and we'll see you there. Come say hi. All right. Bye.
Bye.